Some women pass through a man's life like a summer breeze, pleasant, refreshing, but soon forgotten. And then, there are women who leave a mark so deep, so unforgettable, that even years later, he can close his eyes and still hear her laugh, smell her perfume, and feel the warmth of her presence. It's not always about beauty. It's not about perfection. It's about something far rarer, the way she makes him feel alive. Men may not always understand it while it's happening. They may even let her go, thinking they'll move on. But when a woman possesses certain qualities, she becomes a memory tattoo, etched into his mind and heart forever. This is the story of that woman. The kind of woman a man never truly forgets. Every man, no matter how confident or successful, carries secret insecurities. A woman who sees past his flaws, who believes in his potential, can ignite something inside him. She doesn't mock his dreams, she fuels them. She doesn't compete with his masculinity, she embraces it. When a man meets a woman who makes him feel capable, respected, and admired, it strikes a chord deep within his soul. She becomes the mirror that reflects not just who he is, but who he can be. And once he's felt that, he'll never forget her, because she made him feel powerful in a world that often tries to make him feel small. There are people you have to explain yourself to. And then, there are people who just get you. A woman like this doesn't need long speeches. She reads his silence. She hears what he's not saying. He could walk into the room after a bad day, and she'd know without asking. She wouldn't press for answers, she'd just be there, maybe with a quiet touch or a knowing glance. For a man, that kind of understanding is rare. It's not about agreeing on everything, it's about feeling seen. And when you've been seen without having to perform, explain, or justify yourself, it's impossible to forget. There are people you have to explain yourself to. And then, there are people who just get you. A woman like this doesn't need long speeches. She reads his silence. She hears what he's not saying. He could walk into the room after a bad day, and she'd know without asking. She wouldn't press for answers, she'd just be there, maybe with a quiet touch or a knowing glance. For a man, that kind of understanding is rare. It's not about agreeing on everything, it's about feeling seen. And when you've been seen without having to perform, explain, or justify yourself, it's impossible to forget. Some women are exciting in moments of grand romance, trips, dates, fancy dinners. But the woman a man never forgets. She makes everyday life feel like an adventure. She could turn grocery shopping into a comedy act. She could make folding laundry a moment for deep talks or playful teasing. She made ordinary moments feel extraordinary simply by being herself. A man remembers that because it's not about where you are, it's about who you're with. And if she could make Tuesday nights feel like Friday, she's unforgettable. Men respect women who don't let them get away with less than they can give. Not in a controlling, nagging way, but in a way that says, I see your potential and I won't let you settle. She didn't flatter him with empty praise. She didn't agree just to avoid conflict. She spoke her mind, called him out when necessary, and held him to a higher standard. This wasn't about dominance, it was about growth. He might have been frustrated in the moment, but later, he realized, she was the one who sharpened him, like steel against steel. And that leaves an impression no man forgets. Every man has parts of himself he hides, the fears, the mistakes, the anger, the shame. Most people either run from it or try to fix it. But a woman like this, she could sit with him in his darkness without flinching. She didn't excuse bad behavior, but she didn't see him as broken either. She understood that shadows exist because there's light. For a man, finding someone who sees both his scars and his strengths, and still chooses to stay, is rare beyond words. And that kind of acceptance is unforgettable. There's a difference between being needed and being wanted. Being needed can feel like obligation. Being wanted, that's desire. She didn't just rely on him for help. She chose him, every day, in little ways. The lingering touch, the flirty glance, the spontaneous kiss for no reason. She reminded him he was attractive, not just useful. Desired, not just dependable. And a man never forgets the woman who made him feel irresistible in her eyes. She wasn't an open book. Not in a deceptive way, but in a layered way. Every time he thought he fully understood her, she surprised him, an unexpected talent, a hidden interest, a sudden moment of vulnerability. She wasn't playing games, she was simply a complex human being who didn't reveal everything at once. And that made him endlessly curious. Curiosity is one of the most powerful emotional hooks. And when a man feels like he could spend years discovering new things about you and still not know it all, he'll never stop wondering about you. She didn't try to rebuild him. She didn't tear him down to make him fit her mold. Instead, she inspired him to become the best version of himself because she believed in him. It wasn't manipulation, it was motivation. She made him want to rise to the occasion, not out of fear, but out of love and respect. When a man looks back and realizes he grew stronger, wiser, and more confident because of one woman, he never forgets. Ironically, sometimes the very reason she becomes unforgettable is because she didn't beg to stay. If the relationship ended, she didn't destroy him publicly, didn't poison his name, didn't cling out of fear. She walked away with dignity, leaving the door of respect open. That maturity lingers in his memory because most people leave in chaos. She left in peace, and peace is priceless. Not a house, not a place, but a feeling. Being around her felt safe yet exciting, familiar yet inspiring. She grounded him without trapping him. She encouraged him without smothering him. Home isn't just where you rest, it's where you belong. And for some men, the hardest thing is realizing they once had that feeling and let it slip away.